day 2 of a guitar body painting workshop. Today we're gonna prime it, hopefully. So I have to introduce you to Mr. Degreaser and Mr. Primer over here. Yep, no going back now. I've got this block of wood laying around because I've been using that for painting guitars for quite some time now, and I've made it just as a fake neck so I can screw it in, bolt it in from the bottom, and it gives me a good grab point so I can handle the guitar around without touching it with my greasy fingers all the time, because once I will degrease it completely, I don't want any greasy fingerprints or any other residue getting onto a guitar body. So I'm gonna try to handle it only by this fake neck, which is just an old piece of wood, and I can hang it over there as well for painting, and I can put in my vise so I can spray it and all that. So that is a very handy thing to do. This is what I use for degreasing all my surfaces, guitars, motorcycle parts, whatever I'm painting. I use a Primer Prep degreaser. This one is by High Coat, but I'm not endorsing any specific brand or anything. Just whatever is available in my local hardware store. I used VHT products before, and they're equally as good. One thing I do want to mention with these guys is be very careful and never spray directly on the surface, because they are quite grippy, very aggressive. They bite, and if the surface, the area you painting, you want to prep, it's not great quality clear coated or great quality paint, then it's going to bite into it and you're going to ruin the base paint job you've got there. So always be very careful. Spray it on a microfiber cloth if you can, or some other panel wipes, and then gently wipe it. Don't soak one area too long in one spot, because you may ruin it. These are very aggressive. Yes, I know you can use window cleaner, and you can use finger veil nail varnish remover and all that stuff, but that's not very professional, and they always leave some kind of residue behind, and they always leave some kind of tint to it. So I tend to not to use it, avoid that. Use a professional stuff if you can. That can only cost you about 9-10 quid, but it will last for quite some time if you use it well. Tack cloth. Always use tack cloth if you can. They're not very expensive. They come in this sealed packages. Always, before you paint something, use tack cloth. Yeah. And what I do with it, again, I've been using that for years. Because they come soaked, you can't feel it. They come soaked with some kind of a grubby, oily kind of substance. By all means, they're not designed to degrease stuff, you know, the ones that come pre-soaked with things. So don't go rubbing crazy on this, because you leave that residue on the surface, and you don't want that. that's not cool. That's not gonna work. So what you need to do with it, just separate it completely, like that, and let it air for, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes, depends on the conditions. Outside is going to be cooked much faster than inside, and hotter day is going to be much quicker than in cold day and all that. So yeah, air it. I'll leave it here hanging for 10-15 minutes, and I'll show you what to do next. Rock and roll. So we fast forward 10 minutes. That's been aired. What I do with tack cloths, I never fold them. Just very gently, just got it together like that, and don't squeeze it too hard. Yeah, and always before you just paint it, very gently. Don't push it hard on it. Yeah, very gently. Just run across all surface of your guitar, or your motorcycle petrol tank, or the car you're painting, or your helmet, whatever that is. And that was pretty clean, luckily enough, but as always I can still see, not that you can pick it up on this camera, but there's a few spots of dust and dirt that was left behind from whatever. And design of this tack cloth is just to pick it all up, so you hopefully end up with a very, very professional finish. There we go. Once it's all wiped, from that point I'm not touching the guitar with my fingers. Well, I'm trying not to anyway. You can reuse it if you seal it later, but they're so cheap you can just throw it away and get the next one. Well, anyway, we're gonna prime it next. Now, to prime it, I'm gonna use my airbrush and airbrush primer. You're gonna use white on this occasion because I like to work from lighter to darker colors, especially on this design and what I'm gonna do over here. And an airbrush, that's my workhorse of an airbrush, Aerograph, nothing special about it. Really good quality airbrush, 0.5 of a mil nozzle and needle setup, so it's quite large diameter. You need that for that primer. Dries really quick and is rock solid as well. So I'm gonna do a few layers of that. Why airbrush and not a bigger gun or a spray? Simply because I can get better results with airbrush, especially on a complex body, complex surface like a guitar body, when you got lots of curves and small surfaces to get into. You can always get too much overspray with a bigger nozzle or a spray gun or a spray can. So with airbrush I can control where I'm going, and I can give really nice and even coverage of what I'm doing. So again, let's put some music on and let's have it done. There we have it. What was once a red guitar, now it's a white guitar. Well, it's primed white anyway. Quite happy with that finish. As you can see, I've been going my airbrush up and down and then left to right, just to avoid the patterns and uneven lines in the finish of the surface. And if I'm still seeing some lines and some other inconsistent results, then I went sideways one way or the other, just to cover everything up, and I went all the way around and all that. So quite happy with that. If there's a little splatter somewhere on the paintwork when my airbrush decided to spit or something like that, and just to make sure it's a very even surface before I apply the artwork on it, I will most probably go over it with 1000 grit sandpaper, very gently, or maybe even some green Scotch-Brite, just to make sure it's very smooth surface before I apply any artwork to it. And yeah, but I'll let it cure for a little bit more, and then artwork will come later, next videos. So I'll see you guys then.